Hey everyone, this week we're talking about self-expression. Check it out.
Brands on Brands.
Hey, what's up and welcome to Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal branding coach, and I believe that building a brand that matters is the only way for a person to thrive tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in this week. Our topic is self-expression. That's right. Expressing yourself, finding your voice, getting those ideas out of your head and into the world. That is our topic for today. So what I want to start with is the idea of, defining what self-expression is. And I gave a few examples there, but for me, self-expression is really this idea of figuring out your own perspective and sharing it, right? There's those two components. You have to come up with something that's uniquely yours, that is the self part of it, right? That it comes from you. It is not repeated from someone else. It is all the inputs that you've taken in, your processing of that, you're adding your feelings to it, your thoughts about it, your opinions about it, and then taking it from the self and putting it out there into the world. That's the expression side of it. So for me, self-expression involves those two components. It has to have you in it. It has to have your feelings, your beliefs, your thoughts and ideas in it. And it has to be shared. It has to be put out there into the world, right? And that sharing with other people is what makes it interesting, right? Otherwise, it is just self-reflection. It's not self-expression. When you express it, when you share it with the world, you have now started an action in motion, right? You've put it out there for other people to respond and react to it. And that, I think, is what is the magic of self-expression, is you have started something. You've created movement on a particular topic or idea. And now that idea is alive. And that idea is available to other people to react to respond to create a dialogue and start an interaction that could lead to other things. It doesn't matter what those things are, but the self-expression is the catalyst, right? It is the starting point. Now, I want to talk about the good and the bad, right? Every idea has a yin and a yang, has a good and a bad, and self-expression is no different. So for me, self-expression, if I have to look at what are the good things about self-expression, well, for me, I think when you have the ability to express yourself, to get your ideas out, you start to understand who you are a little bit better, right? Your identity is besides being examined, it is now being shared, because your identity is created by a lot of what your beliefs are. And when you express those beliefs, you let other people in to understand who you are, and you draw people to you that are like-minded, and you repel people that have dissenting points of view or whatever it might be. And you finding the people that you connect with in this world, I think, is important. The other good is that when you express yourself and you exchange ideas with other people, you are going to hear different points of views. You are going to get different perspectives back. And that back and forth, that exchange of ideas creates usually new and better ideas, or better perspective and understanding on both sides of things that you had not thought about, but that other people introduce into the conversation. Or it creates new ideas that take you to different places and maybe start different conversations. But what's great about that is sometimes these ideas can create action that otherwise would never have happened, right? And that could be anything from an invention, right? Some type of idea that leads to the invention of a solution for some problem in the world. Or it could lead to a idea that is a better understanding of something that leads to better relationships, right? Between two people or two different frames of thought or two different perspectives. It leads to a better relationship. Or it leads to further examination, right? It makes you think deeper about, and maybe invite other people to think deeper about certain ideas that maybe need to evolve, that maybe need to change. Those conversations that take us forward as a people, that change us and move us out of rooted opinions and into, and open to new ideas that help us evolve, that help us have a better relationship with other human beings in this world, are important. So that's the good. Now, the bad of self-expression, and I use bad very loosely here, but some of the problems or some of the challenges you're going to run into when you have self-expression is, I'd say first and foremost, because you were inviting people in to examine your ideas that you are now sharing and putting out there, you're going to get responses that you don't like, right? And those responses, could be things that either you just don't agree with or that make you feel a certain way, right? They could cause you to have emotions that are that span the board. They could be anger at the disagreement of someone else's opinion. It could be sadness about you not thinking of something that they thought of, or whatever it might be. You're going to have all these emotions around the responses you get to it, and potentially fear of that judgment, right? Because you express yourself, you put yourself out there, some other people out there might judge that opinion that you've created, that expression of yourself. And it's on you to decide if you want to take in that input or to let it go. But that is what you're opening yourself up to, is now that you've expressed yourself, you have left yourself open for other people to have opinions about what you've said. And you have to be okay with that. And that doesn't always mean that their opinions coming back at you are good or that it's appropriate. You're going to get appropriate. You're going to get inappropriate. You're going to get things you like. You're going to get things you don't like. You're going to get things you agree with and things you don't agree with. But those challenges hopefully help you grow as a person, right? But that is the first bad part, is that you are now opening yourself up to this conversation that can feel uncomfortable, that can make you uneasy, that can challenge your own beliefs in a way. But without those challenges, you can't grow, right? Because either you are challenged and it makes you reflect deeper and better research your own feelings and opinions, and that might strengthen them, or it might move you to a slightly different perspective that you hadn't considered before, right? But you have to open yourself up to those feelings of being disagreed with and how uncomfortable that might make you feel. The other bad side of self-expression is that sometimes when we express ourselves, we start to feel nervous about those ideas, right? What if we are wrong? That feeling of getting something wrong, that fear of disappointment, that fear of failing at something, about saying something that is just plain incorrect and being corrected, scares a lot of people, right? And then the other thing to worry about is change. You might put an idea out there and then have to deal with the fact that those ideas might change how you think about something. They might change how you act. They might change your current comfort level. And change can be scary, right? And can be uncomfortable. So those are things that you can run into through self-expression. But the opportunity now that I want to talk about is when you start to put yourself out there and express yourself. And you can choose, by the way, you can choose whether you express yourself to one person, one-on-one, or you express yourself in a group that's a small group that's of common interest, or if you express yourself to the world. You get to choose those. And the choices you make open yourselves up to what you can control, what you are opening yourself up to. Are you opening yourself up to the opinion of one person, to few people, or the many, right? When I do a podcast like this and I put it out there, I'm opening myself up to being disagreed with to the many people that find it, right? That's me saying I'm okay with putting this out there and seeing what happens, because I believe everyone's entitled to have their opinions, and those opinions can be different, and that's okay. It doesn't affect me that their opinions are different, but you have to accept that. So I think the opportunity is, number one, that you get to express yourself and get those ideas out of your head and out there into the world to create an action and a momentum around these ideas to see if they create new ideas and to see where they go. You may not have a goal in mind, but it might lead to something that's interesting, that might help you grow and develop as a person, right? There is opportunity there. That is the unseen growth and development of yourself, of your own perspectives, of your own ideas, and of your own momentum in this world, right? So you open yourself up to where that will take you. I think the other opportunity is that you draw people into your world that are in agreement with what you say, or that are interested in the things that you're bringing to mind. And you start to form a community around some of these ideas, right? You have supporters that are in the same realm as you. You have people that want to discuss it further. You find the people that are in your world that want to be drawn to that message, right? You unite around a certain message. So that's the opportunity, is that you may no longer feel alone in these thoughts. You may bring people in that also have the same thoughts, and that community builds strength around giving that idea momentum, whatever it might be. Maybe the idea just needs discussion and that's all. Or maybe it just needs to be expressed. But in some cases, it might just bring you closer to people that are in the same place as you. And that feeling of community helps empower you and gives you confidence to accomplish your goals in life, especially if you're talking about things that are relevant to your life, your career, your finances, your personal life, whatever it might be, right? Bringing people into your world that have similar common ground is really what community and friendship and fraternity and all of that community is all about. So there's the opportunity, is, expressing yourself might lead to growth of your own perspective, but it also might lead to community and support for your own ideas and for the ideas of others. So that opportunity, I would say, leads to my challenge for you with this episode today, which is, what can you do to go out there and express yourself? What are some topics that you are interested in sharing an idea on? If you had to introduce a topic to someone, what would it be? What is something that you are interested in learning more about? What is something that you're interested in hearing other people's opinions on? What is something that you've been challenged or frustrated with? These are all great topics to start a dialogue on. And that dialogue could be one-to-one, or it could be in the form of a podcast or a social media post, just asking a question to the people that are following you in your immediate circle. Hey, what are you thinking about this topic, XYZ? And seeing what the responses are and starting those conversations. You might learn some things about people around you that you never knew. So that's my challenge for you guys today. As always, continue to put yourself out there, express yourself, build your personal brand. And I hope you guys have found this useful, and I will catch you guys next time.